Hey guys, welcome back to Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. My name is Alec Cuenca and I'm your host. And before anything else, I would like to greet each and every one of you. Welcome back to the show. If this is your first time, then I hope that you enjoy this episode. And if you do, go ahead and check out the other amazing episodes because they have a lot of amazing insights that you can learn from as well. If you are an avid listener of the podcast, then welcome back. I am excited that you are here investing in yourself, learning new ideas and concepts that can help you make better decisions for yourself and for the people around you. And in this episode, we're going to go deviating from the usual stuff that we do here about self improvement, self help, and we're going to talk about relationships. I've been getting a lot of messages to create episodes about relationships, and I just didn't have the time to do it because I have a lot of different things that I want to talk about. But today, we are going to talk about that. To be precise, we are going to talk about signs that you are in a toxic relationship and how do you deal with it. But before we talk about those signs, let's talk about first and foremost, what is a toxic relationship? Now, a toxic relationship for me is a relationship that lacks one or more components of a healthy relationship. Yes, you heard it right. There are three components. A lot of people think that you only need love for a relationship to survive. It doesn't work that way. Wake up. A lot of people are still not agreeing or disagreeing with me on this one. But let me tell you, in relationships, love is never enough. Love is nothing but a feeling, an emotion, a chemical reaction inside our bodies. And it is responsible for the dopamine that we feel inside our head. That's why we feel good when we are in love. And so love is an important feeling because it helps us, it attracts us towards this person, and it will initiate a lot of things that we want to do for that person, to love that person. But love isn't enough. Love, as beautiful as it may be, it's not enough. I said this in one of my videos that I created on TikTok. I said that when you're looking for a partner, you need someone that makes your heart flutter, but at the same time inspires you to be a better person. When you're looking for someone, you should use not only your heart, but also your mind. Yes, so love is never enough. But love is a very important factor. But if love is not there, then of course it might be toxic. But the other components that you need to have a healthy relationship are trust and respect. Without trust, you will always have a lot of trust issues. And we know how toxic relationships without trust issues are. When we don't have trust, every single thing that the person is doing, we are going to doubt that person. We would feel that there is something that she or he is not doing right, like every single time. And that kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Even though wala naman siyang ginagawa, but every single time that you would do that, or you would assume that, he would create this reality, maybe I am doing something wrong. Now, every single time that, when someone talks, another girl talks to her, it would feel that way. It would seem that way. Okay? Our beliefs are so powerful that we always try to look for evidence on what we believe in. So if we believe that they are cheating on us, one way or another, it will manifest that they will be cheating on us. Kahit anong gawin natin. Diba pag sa mga tao, okay, like full disclaimer, I became very toxic in my relationships before. And then, ang nangyari, when you have access to social media accounts ng partner mo and you are toxic, you don't trust that person, you have a lot of trust issues, chances are, hahalongkatin mo lahat ng social media accounts niya. And trust me, you will always find something that you won't agree upon or you won't like. You will always find something that you won't like. And that will affirm the belief that you have that he or she is cheating on you, that your partner is cheating on you. It becomes self-fulfilling prophecy. So without trust, it will become toxic because it will be dragging for you every single day to find, to find something that will prove their dishonesty. The last component is respect. Respect is very important. You may have the trust, you may have the love, but if you don't have respect, if you don't respect their boundaries, if you don't respect their individuality, if you don't respect their non-negotiables, you will lose yourself. One of you guys will lose your sense of self-worth because it will be disrespectful. You will tolerate things that you don't tolerate before. This is why it's very important that you set your boundaries. You set your standards. You set your non-negotiables. You know what you want and you know what you don't want before you enter a relationship, because then you know that's where you draw the line. And if they cross that line, that's why you say that the respect is gone. And then you try to work it out. Pero kung hindi talaga nire-respeto, then you walk away from it. Either of the three things dito, pag wala yan, it becomes a toxic relationship. Now, why do people stay even though they know that they're in a toxic relationship? Scott F. Fitzgerald said that we accept the love that we think that we deserve, right? But I think that there's a better way to put it. I think we accept the love that we're familiar with. We stay in toxic relationships because that's what we're familiar with. We are familiar with that kind of love. A love that is not full, a love that is not kind, a love that is not loving and peaceful and just 100% joy and happiness and bliss. And even though there are going to be rough times and problems, it will be worth fighting for. It won't be a challenge because when you are with someone that is just pure love, it won't become a hassle. It won't become toxic. But since we were children, we were always accustomed that every time we ask for love, we won't get it from our parents, from our friends, from society. Every time we ask for love, we don't get it. So we're familiar with that type of love. And so when we are in a toxic relationship, guess what? We're familiar with that. Oh, I know this place before. I'm familiar with this place before. Even though we know that it's not good for us, we still stay. Because that's the love that we're familiar with. We're always going to choose the love that we're familiar with, unless we make a conscious decision that we need to make some huge changes in our lives. And it's a hard thing to do because isipin mo, for years you have trained your mind to do that. And the more that you try to change it, and changing it requires a few couple of weeks before you can really program your mind into believing or thinking into accepting the fact that you deserve more than that. But it all starts there. You gotta accept that you are familiar with that kind of love. That's why you want to stay there. But let me tell you something. You deserve more than that. There's an abundant life that is filled with love here in this world. One thing that I did before when I was in a toxic relationship is that I still held long for it because for two things. Number one is that, I didn't want to go back to dating and starting all over again. Second is I was scared. I was scared that nobody will ever love me the way that she loved me. And then when this other person came, when this other type of love came, I experienced a different type of love. Not a perfect love, but a more unique, a better love. And so when I learned that, I realized that there are different types of love. And there will be someone that will understand who you are, will respect your trust, your individuality, will support you, will be the best love that you can be, or that you can have. It's possible. So if you are here and you're in a toxic relationship, do not fear. Do not be scared. The fact that you are scared means that there is a big growth waiting for you on the other side of that fear. and hindi ka pababayaan ni Lord. So, let's now talk about the different signs that you can see in your relationship that will indicate that you are in a toxic relationship. Number one is you're keeping a relationship scorecard. Now, keeping score, we know this, we experience this. Every time we, have a problem in our relationships, we tend to bring back the previous mistakes na ginawa ng partner natin. Ikaw nga, kumain ka kanina sa labas, hindi mo ako sinama. Ikaw nga, nag-inom ka kagabi, late ka na umuwi. Ikaw nga, nagkita kayo ni ganito, ganyan. Ikaw nga, chinat mo si ganito. Ikaw nga, nilike mo yung page, nilike mo yung photo ni ganito. You bring back different problems from your past. Now, that's really toxic because number one, it takes away the power for you guys to focus on the real problem or the problem you have at hand. The second one, it is toxic because you will always bring bitterness from the past. Hey guys, before we proceed to the rest of the episode, I just want to share something that I discovered recently. I am a firm believer that we need to protect ourselves and our data online. We need to securely access different apps, different websites, different entertainment services as we browse across the internet. And a good thing that I learned about NordVPN. NordVPN makes sure that all of our data stays safe behind a wall of next generation encryption. It's the fastest VPN. We don't need to sacrifice speed for better security. It also offers uninterrupted streaming, and you can use it on multiple devices. We partnered with NordVPN through Podmetrics for you guys to also enjoy the same experience. They have an amazing promo right now that allows you to get 73% off of the 2-year plan plus 4 months free when you use our link in the description and code before checking out. They also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for a NordVPN account now. You are opening up wounds so that it will bleed over your present. That's going to be toxic because the previous wounds, it's still hurting. It's still going to hurt. And it will hurt twice as much if you bring it right now. Na sobrang irrelevant. Sobrang hindi naman connected sa topic or sa pinag-aawayan or sa pinag-uusapan. And when that happens, once it will happen over and over again. And it becomes very, very draining. Second sign is that you blame your partner for your emotions. Naglalabas ka ng sama ng loob or nilalabas mo yung sama ng loob doon sa partner mo or yung partner mo, ganun yung ginagawa sa'yo. Even though you guys are partners, even though you are in a long-term or short-term relationship, you are not responsible for the entirety of what she feels or what he feels. You are only there to support that person. You're only there to listen to that person, to help that person out. But you have no obligation to fix whatever he or she is feeling. That's his or her problem. That's his or her emotions. You can never control what she's feeling. You can only control how you react to it. And when we think about it, when, for example, you have a crappy day, you have a bad day, and your partner isn't being super sympathetic or supportive about it. Maybe they're also busy or they also had a very crappy day. So you want to just lay in bed, stay home, watch Netflix, and watch a movie tonight. But your partner, he decides to have some me time. He wants to be all alone. And then you're so frustrated. Now you're going to lash out to him for being so insensitive, for being callous towards you. Sure, of course, you never ask for emotional support, but your partner should just know that, right? Know that to make you feel better. Now, that is very, very toxic because when we blame our partners for our emotional health, that is so selfish. And that is a classic example of the poor maintenance of personal boundaries. It's very important that when you enter a relationship, you have a decent amount of self-control on your emotions, because if you don't, you will always find it or ask for it that someone else will fill that hole for you. And when you do that, it's going to be draining to the point that, because imagine a cup, right? Imagine a cup and it has holes underneath. And even though other people or your partner is going to pour their tea or their whatever is inside their cup onto your cup, mawawala pa rin, mauubos pa rin. Why? Because maraming pa ring butas dun sa cup mo. You need to fix your holes first. You need to, when I say fix your holes, I mean that you learn to emotionally balance yourself and understand that you are responsible for your own emotions, not other people, not your partner. It's good to have someone that will support you, pero it doesn't need to be that they will always be there to save you. A lot of people think that when we're in a relationship, it's supposed to be 50-50, right? But the truth is, it can be 100 and 100. So fix your personal boundaries. Be emotionally stable. And then find someone that is also emotionally stable. And you guys can have a really better time than the other relationships out there. Okay, the third sign that you are in a toxic relationship is you display too much jealousy. It's okay if you show jealousy paminsan-minsan, kahit konting pagsiselos. Okay lang yan, walang problema. But when you are showing jealousy or displaying jealousy too much, that shows, first and foremost, that you don't trust the person, you don't trust your partner. And again, that displays a lack of trust, which is very important in a healthy relationship. Or, hindi talaga sila mapagkakatiwalaan sa kahit anong ginagawa nila. But again, as we talked about it, you need to be secure. It's hard to be in a relationship if you're insecure, because you will always find ways or things that na ginawa niya para mapatunayan na meron nga siyang ginagawang mali. Sabihin ng ibang tao, hindi, okay lang pag nagsiselos ka, mahal mo. Totoo. Pero pag nagpakain ka sa selos mo kasi, ang selos nanggagaling yan sa takot. Pag nagpakain ka sa takot mo, hindi ka na pinapangunahan ng pagmamahal. Hindi ka na pinapangunahan ng peace. And alam mo ba, pag nagpakain ka sa takot mo, you won't feel peace. You will be disturbed every single moment na nandiyan ka sa relationship na yun. And do you like that? Relationships, they should be there for you to experience happiness and joy and peace. And if it's not bringing you that, then what's the point? So that's the third sign, displaying too much jealousy. Number 4, it feels like a competition. The best partners out there will bring out the best in you or will push you to become a better person. However, this will never ever turn into a competition. Never. I've experienced before, like I was in a relationship before that it was like the first time that I experienced any kind of personal achievement. And then she would feel like she would need to have a personal achievement on her own, that she needs to have to do something on her own for her to accomplish something in her life. And I was like, why? Just because I'm experiencing some kind of personal achievement, you want to do that right now? It just becomes a competition. When you're inspired with someone, you won't really compare yourself. You just see that, okay, she's doing good. Now I need to focus myself. I need to focus on myself, and I know that I have my own timeline. There is no sense of envy. You just want to be better for yourself and for the both of you guys. Pero pag you want to be better because he's being better, you're comparing and meron ng inggit na kasama doon, it becomes a competition. And when there's competition, there is always someone that feels threatened. And when you feel threatened sa isang relationship, that will cause you to be uneasy, uncomfortable, and it will make things very awkward sa inyong dalawa. So if it feels like a competition, you might be in a toxic relationship. The last one is it will bring out the worst in you. I could remember the times when I was in a toxic relationship that I have done things that I said that I wouldn't do, like or like I didn't thought that I couldn't do. I was stalking, like really, really, you know, creepy level, stalking level kind of thing. I did that. You know, I was hurting myself physically. I was indulging myself in different alcohol and drugs, and I just wrecked myself. And I know that that's not my fullest potential. It was me um, doing the things that doing the opposite things from what I know that I could do with my life. Like I wrecked my life. I hated my life. It really brought out the worst in me. So if you know that this is not you, hindi naman ikaw to. You're not the monster that you are, that you seem right now, then maybe the relationship is bringing out worst in you. But understand that it's because of the toxic environment. Di ba pag merong kamatis na nabubulok, tinatanggal nila yon sa ibang mga kamatis na nakapaligid kasi mahahawa sa pagkabulok yung kamatis. Di ba? If you stay long enough in a toxic relationship, even if you are not toxic, you will become toxic. So as soon as you notice that you have become toxic, you pull yourself out of it. And then you work on yourself. Kahit isa lang sa inyo ang toxic, yung isa sa inyo mahahawa automatic. And in every toxic relationship that I see, it's the two of you guys that are at fault. Of course, yung isa siguro siya yung nagsimula. Pero kung hindi nyo aayusin agad, then both of you will have, and pinatagal nyo pa yung toxic relationship na yun, you will do toxic things because you will be a toxic person. So as soon as makita mo the first sign, sit down, try to fix it, try to address it para hindi na lumala. Okay? So those are the signs that you are in a toxic relationship. Now, what do you do when you are in a toxic relationship? A lot of people are asking me, Alec, can we fix a toxic relationship? Yes, you can. However, this is the only thing that it requires. It requires that the two of you would want to fix your relationship at the same intensity, at the same level. Hindi pwedeng ikaw 100% all in, you want to fix your relationship. Tapos siya 50-50 na, tingnan natin, sige, pwede nating i-fix na ganyan. No, kailangan parehas kayong gustong-gusto na ayusin yung toxic relationship nyo. Kasi kung ikaw lang mag-isa, mahirapan ka. Love isn't hard. Relationships aren't hard if two people are working on it. Is it hard to move a couch pag dalawa kayo nagbubuhat? Hindi naman, di ba? Pero pag mag-isa mo lang, mahirap. That's the same with the relationships. If dalawa kayo na nag-aayos nun, dalawa kayong bumubuhat sa relationship na yon, it will feel easier and lighter. Because that's what it's supposed to be pag sa relationship. Dapat dalawa kayo ang kumikilos dyan. Pero kung ikaw lang ang gustong ayusin ng toxic relationship, then wala na. So, other things that you could do, reignite the passion, reignite the flame that you have. Accept that the old version of you is not the same with the new version of you. And find ways that you could fall in love, that you could spend time together and have fun together with these new versions of you. Trust fully. That's another thing that you could do. Trust fully. Like trust is not earned. A lot of people think trust is earned. It's not. It's given. And even though you have trust issues, even though you're giving trust to other people, you need to learn to give trust to yourself. Trust that no matter what happens, you can handle yourself. You can handle the situation. And so, yeah, those are the things. I think, so yeah. Talking about, how to deal with toxic relationships. We'll talk about that in another episode. This episode is quite longer right now, but yes, it is possible to fix a toxic relationship as long as both of you want to work on it. So if you are in a toxic relationship, then find a way that you could sit down and talk about the toxic traits that you have, and maybe address that and find a way that you could both compromise to fix the problem. And yeah, I'll talk about dealing with toxic relationships in another episode. If you like this episode, go ahead and share this on Instagram. Do not forget to tag me at Small Talk Podcast. And yeah, if you want to join the Better Me project, it's a group coaching session, and we have weekly live trainings. We have an exclusive book club. We have new topics every month. It provides coaching support and accountability in every step of your self-improvement journey. So if you want to join that, go send me a message on Instagram or on Facebook, Alec Cuenca, and we will be happy to have you. So again, guys, thank you so much for listening. This is Alec Cuenca. This is Small Talk, small conversations with huge impact. And I will talk to you guys next episode. Bye-bye.